Hello friends, welcome to the Academy's UPSC Samarpan program. Today we are going to discuss a question from disaster management. This question was asked in UPSC Means 2024. This is the issue on urban flooding, which we have discussed in the class. We have had this in the PYQs as well. We had predicted that this question would be coming in the UPSC Means, and here we are with this question. Okay. The question is, flooding in urban area is an emerging climate-induced disaster. Discuss the causes of the disaster. Mention features of two such major floods in the last 2 decades. Describe the policies and frameworks in India that aim at tackling such floods. Though it appears a big question, actually it is very easy to answer this because the focus of this question is very clear. Now, to begin with, let's understand which part of this question is the focus. Now, causes of urban floods is the first focus. Then, mentioning the features of two such major floods in the last 2 decades in India is another focus, and describe the policies and frameworks in India that aim to tackle such urban floods is our third focus. And that flooding is an urban area is an emerging disaster is the locus of this question. So this is the part which we are going to focus in our answers. Now, to begin with, here in the conclusion, what are the different types of, introduction. What are the different types of introduction that you can have here? One best way is to extrapolate the locus. You start explaining the locus or why it is in news recently. Okay. Now, here what we can do is, what I'm doing is urban, I don't need to define urban flood. That's not asked in the question. So I can straight away say that urban flooding has emerged as a significant climate included related disaster in India, and it is being intensified by unplanned urbanization, inadequate infrastructure, and changing climate as a whole. So here I'm saying that climate change has induced, or inadequate infrastructure, unplanned urbanization are actually intensifying this phenomena of urban floods. At the same time, I can also give an example of a report from Government of India. Okay, here Climate Change Assessment Report 2020 by Ministry of Earth Sciences. This report has said that there has been increased frequency of heavy rainfall, which is impacting or resulting into floods across India, and especially or particularly in the urban areas. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm linking this issue with one government report. At the same time, I'm very briefly telling in the introduction itself what are the probable causes of urban floods in India. Okay, so this is how you can start your introduction. Then in the body, we'll have to address our first focus in the question, that is, what are the causes of urban flooding. I can go on and on telling you causes, but considering the word limit, we can only write 4 to 5 causes here. The most important is unplanned urbanization in India. Okay, under this point, you can write encroachment on natural drainage systems or the concretization of cities. Okay, for example, here you can say Bengaluru. Why? IISc Bengaluru has come up with a report in 2019 that 90% of Bengaluru is only concrete. So because of concrete, there will be rapid flow of water, which is resulting in urban floods. Then the second point is inadequate drainage infrastructure. We look at cities in India, for example, Mumbai, Delhi. These all cities lack proper drainage infrastructure, which is again resulting into urban floods. Then there is climate change. Actually, this issue of urban flooding is both man-made as well as natural. So when I say climate change, there has been intense rainfall over urban areas because of heat island effect. Okay. Now, there is erratic as well as intense rainfall. When I say intense rainfall, I should have some examples. So I can quote 944 millimeter rainfall in 24 hours in Mumbai in 2005. So I have example for all. I have example for Bengaluru, for Delhi, for Chennai, whichever city is in news, in those years of your exam, you can give example that how the rainfall is exceeding the average. Okay. Then deforestation and loss of green cover is another reason. Because of deforestation, there is reduced water intake by these plants and rapid flow of water. Okay. So across urban spaces in India, we see deforestation or loss of green cover. There is also loss of wetlands also, right? Many reports, especially CAG or Disaster Management Report of Government of Karnataka, IISc Bangalore, they all have suggested that there is loss of wetlands and green cover. Then there is poor waste management system. The municipal solid waste system in India is, especially in the urban area, is quite poor. And these end up in the drainage systems across the cities, which again results into flooding. Okay. Then the next is loss of natural water bodies and encroachment of rivers. For example, let's take Delhi in 2023. The Yamuna crossed the flood line because there's a lot of encroachment on these rivers. Another example that I've given is Mithi River in Mumbai. This is also completely encroached. Adyar in Chennai. So you have a lot of examples across cities in India where the rivers have been encroached upon and the water bodies also have been encroached. Again, I've given an example that Bangalore has witnessed unprecedented, that is 79% of its water bodies have been encroached upon, and so the water storage capacity has automatically reduced. Okay, this is another reason why we see increasing urban floods in India. So this was the first focus. The second is mention two such major floods along with their features. So actually, I have a lot of examples. Here I have taken one, that is Chennai in 2015 and Mumbai floods of 2005. So when they ask you features, you can say what exactly led to urban floods here. So it is intense rainfall, encroachments, what was the impact, what was the economic loss, how many people lost their lives. Along with these features, you can give two examples here. Okay, you have a lot of examples in India actually, but these two examples would suffice because they have only asked you two such examples. Then, the third part, the third focus is what are the policies and frameworks to tackle urban floods in India. Now, if they would ask only what are the solutions to urban floods, we have a lot of solutions. Water sensitive designs, blue-green infrastructure, sponge cities, and so many you have international examples. But they've asked you what government of India is doing. So be very specific. You should not go off track here. What government of India doing here is specifically, that is first is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Transformation, that is Amrut. What we are targeting under Amrut is improving drainage infrastructure in major urban cities of India. So this is one policy that is government of India is working on. Then we have smart city missions. Under smart city missions, government had decided to develop 100 smart cities, which would have climate resilient infrastructure and better waste management, stormwater management systems across these cities. Then the third is National Disaster Management Authority or NDMA guidelines on urban floods. So the government has given guidelines to the urban local bodies on how to tackle these floods in urban areas. So these are some of the programs or policy frameworks which government of India has undertaken. Mind you, if they only ask you the solutions, we have a lot of solutions. But this is what government of India is doing. And in the conclusion, what I would do is again summarize the complete question. All the three focuses together. See, I would say urban flooding is a complex issue which is driven by both natural as well as man-made causes, because IPCC Assessment Report 6 says that this is anthropogenic. Okay, so it is man-made as well as natural. Then while India has implemented several policies, always remember this, policies bahut hai, paper pe. Lekin, this needs to be enforced effectively, along with robust infrastructure development and climate resilient infrastructure. Going forward, urban spaces will have to be climate resilient. Okay. Then recent 2023 floods in Delhi highlight the need for continuous adaptation to evolving climate risk. Climate risk होंगे, हमें evolve करना पड़ेगा, उनके साथ adapt करना पड़ेगा, mitigation करना पड़ेगा. So I'm giving solutions. My conclusion is futuristic. And also I'm ending with a very recent example in India, that is floods in Delhi and what we are supposed to do to overcome this flood. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.